depressingly few number of the world's large rivers actually reach the sea. Land degradation increases enormously. Desertification increases enormously. And then we have climate change.
We all hear about the three-planet economy. We need 3 planets to give 7 billion people a good quality of life. So how on earth are we going to do 9?
Our ability to find solutions that will take us back to a safe home become increasingly few.
But somehow we think we can go on having this complete convenience while ignoring nature. Nature will kick us harder in the teeth than we can ever do back again, which is what I think we're beginning to see.
So many of the problems we're dealing with have been known about for a very long time, but they are incredibly siloed. So the conversation is on forestry, just about forestry, on energy, just about energy. And the systemic links between these issues is not clearly articulated, even if they are understood. So it means that any negotiation, any attempt to find a solution, unless it embraces this broader sweep of issues, in the medium term cannot be successful.
I just felt if I could do anything to try and bring people together, is to try and create as big a global partnership as possible between the private, public and NGO sectors. With my sustainability unit, as we then called it, we could deal with deforestation, sustainable agriculture and sustainable fisheries and try to bring everybody together.
The ISU's main way of operating is to try and find a common ground to facilitate a consensus between the public and the private and the NGO sectors around some of the really challenging environmental problems that we face at the moment. His Royal Highness Prince of Wales is quite rightly extremely focused on the problems of depleting natural capital. And depletion of natural capital will have, and is already starting to have, very serious impacts on economic capital and human capital. And unless we can find a way of ensuring that all 3 types of capital are recognised and put on the table at the same time, any solution that is developed will actually fail.
There's been a lot of doom and gloom, quite rightly, about the state of the world's fisheries. Fundamentally, there's overcapacity in the system. There's just too many boats catching too few fish.
It's perverse what is happening. The constant undermining of nature's capacity to go on supplying us.
As with the rainforest and with the agriculture on land, it's a very similar situation in that the incentive structures are completely wrong. The World Bank estimated that the fisheries could be worth 50 billion more per year than they currently are if they were managed in a more optimal way.
The situation is so bedeviled by a perverse subsidy regime, which, if reorientated, could actually help enormously. We could be much, much more productive. We could make more money every year if, for instance, fisheries were organised on an ecosystem-based approach to management, and if we could scale up the examples of really good practice around the world, where it works and has been shown to work.
For many years, business has been able to deliver value to its shareholders, drawing on sometimes unpaid for resources in the natural world without really having to take too much regard as to the consequences of that. But I think what's become very clear to society, but also very specifically to business, is that that model is unsustainable.
This is a supply chain challenge. The current way we give people a good quality of life relies on a supply chain which cannot supply 7 billion people, let alone 9 billion people. So we've got to do things differently. And businesses can do things differently. We're constantly changing, and that's the provocation we're doing, and then holding their hand on the way.
Okay, I'd like to welcome you all to this event. It's particularly important, I think, to note that we've got lots of senior level engagement from lots of different sectors. So
Prince of Wales has been the patron of the Cambridge Programme for Sustainability Leadership for a number of years. What we have been doing is working with business and policymakers through two main forms of engagement. The first is working with senior leaders in organisations all around the world through executive education, through helping them to deepen their understanding and awareness of the big issues and work out how to respond in ways that help them to be profitable but also help them to be more sustainable. The other is a slightly newer form of engagement, which is these business platforms that we've set up, helping companies work together collaboratively. Many of the challenges that we are trying to tackle can't be dealt with by individuals, companies alone.
We're all very interested in sustainability. We're here today to talk about water, but water is an expansive topic. And so at CPSL, we're able to focus down onto what the key areas that we think are important and that the businesses and the collaborative partners are interested in discussing, and really getting that conversation going and pushing and asking the hard questions. Where can we make action? What are the barriers? What are the opportunities that are available to us to actually start making change within this arena?
That we're not valuing natural capital. We're not valuing properly or accounting for the immense services provided by nature herself, whether it's through water or soil or forests. It's because we're over-exploiting everything without accounting for the damage properly in national accounting processes or indeed within businesses.
The Prince set up the Accounting for Sustainability project in 2004 to really help the business community and public sector organisations embed sustainability into their DNA. So their day-to-day operations, strategy and their external communications to their various stakeholders, to their investors, the public. There's an increasing body of evidence that being a more sustainable business, so thinking about the environment and society, can have actually really great financial results as well. For example, Marks & Spencer's with their Plan A, which is their leading sustainability strategy. When they first set this up a number of years ago, they actually put money aside. Now I think the number of savings it's generated them is around £70 million, which is obviously hugely significant to the bottom line. There's still an awful lot of work that needs to be done, particularly at a board level. The really senior decision makers within organisations to really realise actually by embracing the environment and society, they can deliver tangible business benefits today to their bottom line.